The world doesn't break you, it waits for you to break yourself in front of the wrong eyes. People don't hunt your strengths. They hunt the moment you hesitate, flinch, or leak emotion. And the brutal truth is this: you've already exposed yourself more times than you can count. Not because you're weak, but because your weakest moments slipped out when someone was watching. This isn't fear, this is psychology. And if you don't control these three weaknesses, someone else will. Emotional instability is one of the clearest vulnerabilities a person can display. People think it's only about crying, shouting, or panicking, but instability is much deeper than the obvious reactions. It's any moment in which your internal world overpowers your external control. It's visible in your breathing when you're stressed. It's visible in your eyes when you're anxious. It's visible in your tone when you're overwhelmed. Emotional instability shows the world that your calm can be broken, your confidence can be shaken, and your internal balance is fragile. Once people see that, they not only judge you differently, they treat you differently. Think about someone who explodes in anger over little things. We don't respect them. We anticipate their reactions. We calculate exactly how far we can push before they snap. The same goes for sadness. When someone collapses emotionally in front of us, our view of them shifts. Maybe we feel pity, maybe discomfort, maybe superiority, but the point is, the dynamic changes. Emotional instability changes the psychological positioning between you and other people. Evolutionary psychology explains this well. Humans gravitate towards stability because it signals safety, predictability, and leadership. Instability signals risk, uncertainty, and emotional volatility. This doesn't mean you shouldn't feel emotions. You are not a robot. You shouldn't pretend to be cold or lifeless. But there is a powerful, essential difference between feeling emotions internally and displaying them uncontrollably in front of others. One is human, the other is a weakness. A useful metaphor is the ocean. Your emotions are waves, some small, some violent, some unpredictable. You cannot stop the waves from forming, but you can control where they land. The shoreline is your conscious expression. You can manage what reaches it, what crashes, what stays beneath the surface. Mastery doesn't mean suppressing feelings. It means choosing when and how the world sees them. The stronger your emotional control, the harder it is for anyone to read you, predict you, or manipulate you. The second weakness is subtler, but in many ways even more dangerous. Your desires, your longings, your ambitions, your emotional cravings. Most people reveal their desires without even noticing. They talk about the relationships they want, the validation they crave, the success they're desperate for, the insecurities that keep them awake. Every time you expose a desire, you are giving someone else leverage. Psychologically, humans are built to exploit patterns. If someone knows what you want most, they know exactly what button to press, what temptation to dangle, or what threat to imply. They don't even need force. They only need to position themselves as the gatekeeper of your desire. People don't manipulate you with your weaknesses alone. They manipulate you with your wants. A person who desperately wants love will tolerate disrespect. A person who craves validation will bend backward to impress. A person who longs for approval becomes easy to control. When you expose a deep desire, you're revealing the key to your internal world. This does not mean you should avoid desire or reject ambition. Desire is a driving force, but desire must be guarded, not broadcasted. Think of life like a poker game. If you put your cards face up, the game ends before it begins. If others see your hand, they know exactly how to defeat you. But when you keep your desires private, your silence becomes a strategy. Your restraint becomes strength. Your unpredictability becomes protection. A quiet ambition is more powerful than a loud one. A hidden desire cannot be used against you. The less others know about what you crave, the more control you retain. The third weakness is often invisible until it becomes a pattern. Dependency, not just physical or financial dependence, but emotional, psychological, and social dependence. The kind of dependence where your self-worth is tied to someone else's validation, where your decisions are shaped by someone else's expectations, where your identity shifts based on who you're trying to please. Humans are social creatures. We were built to form bonds, communities, and support systems. But dependence is different from connection. Dependence is surrender. Dependence is giving someone else access to the foundation of your emotional world. When people sense that you cannot stand alone, they instinctively adjust the power dynamic. Even good people do this subconsciously. The more dependent you are, the more they feel they can guide, influence, or control your choices. Dependence makes you predictable. Predictability makes you exploitable. This doesn't mean you should isolate yourself or reject help. It means you must have internal sovereignty, the ability to stand alone even when surrounded by others. Picture a tree in a storm. Its strength doesn't come from leaning on other trees. Its strength comes from its roots, its own internal support system. Your roots are your resilience, decision-making, self-respect, boundaries, independence, emotional grounding. When these roots are strong, the storms around you lose their power. When they are weak, even gentle winds can knock you over. Dependence makes you manageable. Independence makes you untouchable. These three weaknesses, emotional instability, exposed desire, and dependence, don't exist alone. They fuel each other. They form a psychological triangle where one amplifies the next. Emotional instability reveals your desires. Exposed desires make you dependent on others to fulfill them. Dependence increases emotional instability when those desires aren't met. This is called a vulnerability cascade. Once one vulnerability shows, others follow. And once someone sees them, the entire blueprint of your psychology becomes readable. Predators don't need full access to you. They only need one crack in the door. Hiding these weaknesses isn't about being fake. It's about self-mastery, controlling what the world sees and what it never will. 1. Internalize first, express later. Let emotions settle before reacting. Think before revealing. Choose what deserves to be shared and with whom. 2. Communicate strength through consistency. Consistency is psychological armor. When people cannot shake your attitude, your reactions, or your mindset, they stop trying. 3. Control your story. If you let others write your narrative, they will write you into the role that benefits them. Be deliberate in what you reveal and who you reveal it to. 4. Anchor yourself in independence. Build a life where you can stand alone if necessary. People respect those who don't cling. 5. Use silence intelligently. Silence is not emptiness. It is presence. It is control. It is power. Final psychological warning. Everyone is scanning for weaknesses, not always out of malice, but out of instinct. Humans are constantly evaluating each other. They look for clues about who you are, how you react, and how you can be influenced. In the wrong hands, your openness becomes your downfall. The world does not reward naked vulnerability. It rewards strategic self-control. A person who knows themselves but does not reveal themselves is unbreakable.